They started using their kid's voice saying, yeah, I screwed, like, mom, dad, I really need your help. I don't know what to do. Please help or whatever. They've gone ahead, not only just video telling someone that, okay, that is your child.
So there's an elaborate setup.
Absolutely.
And they don't show face, but they
Yes.
use a voice tone.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they will talk about obviously. So now if you look at it, Deepfake they have honestly done such a good job in both video and audio
It's
sector.
it's a fake deepfake.
Yeah.
Didn't you know your generation was immune to learning?
Thank you. I think there's all kinds of different. I think this conversation is going somewhere else. Okay,
Come back.
I am here to talk about the rights of my generation. Okay, which is right to live, right to put it on social media and still be safe.
And right to deepfakes.
What is government doing about it? Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Utkarshika. Welcome back to Man vs. Scam. First off, a huge thank you for all the love and support on our pilot episode. We have been blown away by your responses, and it's clear scams are something we all need to talk about more. Joining me as always is Brijesh Singh, the Shaktiman of cybercrime, the man who fights scams faster than your bank sends you an OTP. So Brijesh, what should we talk about today?
This week looks like the week of deepfakes. What do you think about them?
Sounds very interesting. Let's do it.
How do I know you're real?
Do you know, am I real?
No, but if, let's say, you get a call from, let's say, your brother or sister or your boyfriend on video.
Yeah.
How do you know it's real?
I'm hoping it's coming from their own number.
Maybe if the number is spoofed, then
Maybe I'm going to ask him personal questions if it's a boyfriend.
that's a wonderful thing. What would you ask? Like, it can be a...
I don't think I can tell you that.
But you know what you're saying has a grain of truth, in the sense that if you can come up with certain phrases
Yeah.
with your families, friends, loved ones, which can be used to authenticate. It can be like a passphrase, right? So this can be a good bulwark against any deepfakes. Let's say you decide a phrase that only you and I share. And if next time somebody comes on a call, then you can ask for that phrase. And the scammer would not know this phrase. How's that?
You know, वो पता है पुरानी मूवीज आती थी जहाँ पर एक नोट दिया जाता था, फाड़ा जाता था, and then you like, okay, if this matches this one, this
Right.
is, you're talking like that, like there is a secret code that has to be now developed digitally, like much more this thing.
Yes.
अब हमें वो नोट फाड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, but we do have to implement
You may
it.
need, so see, a password is always a shared secret, right? So in that sense, the scammer would not know that there is something which you have pre-decided. So if you want to protect yourself against deepfakes, then this can be a good method. Simple but easy method.
Yeah, but honestly, for the longest time, लोगों को लगता है deepfake is only video, but it's
That's
also
true.
audio, right?
That's true. That's true.
Deepfake has both important gestures, and in both the situations, the scams are both audio and visually appealing, and something that is so personal.
I think audio is easier to clone.
That is true.
There are apps available which can allow you, which can take a small segment of your voice, and then you can clone anybody's voice. Like one of the podcasters did that. Half of the podcast was actually their own clone voices, and then they came ahead and said that, this is not us. This is an AI bot talking.
Actually, in videos also, if you've seen, this lip cutting, right, where you are changing someone's voice, at least there are some gestures where you'll realize it's fake, it's not fake, it's true, it's not true. But in audio, how do you realize it?
Audio is difficult, but video is also getting more and more difficult. There's actually an open source project on GitHub which allows you to be anybody on a live Zoom call.
So you're saying I can be Amitabh Bachchan tomorrow?
Yes, you can. He's got a nice voice.
So you can be anything and anyone, but do you think it's also instigated from your own insecurity? Have you seen those people who are bullied or something? Have you seen some of these cases where these people are behind the mask, right? And they want to purposely hurt. One is, of course, the scam that happens.
Right.
The second is purposely wanting to hurt someone's reputation.
Like Elon
Online.
Musk. Like Elon Musk.
That was this is a very recent case, right? I
Yes.
mean, imagine, long live the king. Like, okay.
So probably it's also kind of political spoof which people are playing, but they should have done it better. See, if you look at that video, Elon Musk has both feet which are left. It's a probably very left-leaning thing.
There's a lot of these thing where people say that he's not from this planet called Earth as well. So that is expected, right? I've never seen his feet. Maybe that is true. He has it. You never know.
बट करना था तो अच्छे से करना था यार, दोनों पैर लेफ्ट क्यों बना दिए?
See, it's all the detailings, right? I know you're saying that obviously sophistication is at its peak and everything, but there are these details, little details like these.
So how are these generated? I mean, where do these deepfakes come from?
I think there are enough now apps where you can there are apps for both, right? There are apps where you can generate the video and audio
Right.
of using people, like certain, like there was this very
The
popular
face swap thing.
yeah, and not just face swap, right? Just lips changing. Where there was a very popular scam that happened in India where industrialists and a lot of celebrities promoted investment in a certain human. Okay, there was this lady, I think Mansi Rao or something, and there were ads running on Facebook, Instagram, and all these places where they're suggesting, okay, invest, she's doubled. Imagine an industrialist telling that she's doubled my money.
Wow.
Very interesting, right? But what it led to is they asked them to join a Telegram group.
Right.
A lot of tier 2, tier 3 cities were affected because of it, because everyone thought that, okay, there is an investment who's backed by the celebrities, backed by people. And of course this was done while the video was taken from some of the public appearances that are already done, right? So this is very easy to clone anyway.
So it was more like modifying existing videos.
Yes. So the video, the face wasn't changed, but it just what they're saying was changed, right? It was actually an open forum where he's talking about, company's vision, etc. But then it was cloned into invest in this lady, and
But I think if you go into the technicalities of it, it comes from something called GANs, which are generative adversarial networks. So it's like this, that there's one maker and there's one checker. So what one does is that it randomly creates, images or videos or anything, and the discriminator, the checker, keeps on rejecting it. And the rejection feedback is given to the maker again. And this keeps on improving, right? So it's a constant battle. So the next deepfakes that you're going to see are going to be better and better and better. So now you can, at least, if you want to, find out if something is deepfake, you may look for certain inconsistencies in speech, certain slur, maybe, absence or presence of background noises, maybe, eye and lip movement not syncing.
Yeah.
But this is getting better and better. And compute is getting cheaper. Otherwise, just to render a small deepfake video, you would require lots of compute.
Yeah.
But now compute is getting cheaper, and enough material is also available. Like the models get better and better if it is trained on more material. Let's say if I want to clone Utkarshika on a live Zoom call. So the more material I have on you, let's say if it's a 15-minute clip, if I have, let's say, 15 hours of material, then I can be impersonating you real live on a Zoom call.
So, do you want to also touch upon this case that happened, I think, somewhere in Indonesia and I think some other parts as well, where it's the same thing, right? Zoom deepfake.
It's a
video.
British firm. It's a large British firm. I don't know how do you pronounce it, ARUP, Arup or something. And they impersonated the CFO. These guys ended up paying probably $20 to $25 million. Imagine this, that this guy joined a live Zoom call in which the CFO was being impersonated, and he made instructions to pay this. So the loss was heavy. There's another similar case in Hong Kong, I think. Another company lost almost $20 million.
Yeah.
So the losses are huge, and it's happening everywhere. So deepfakes are being used for financial losses, for reputational loss, as you saw the Elon Musk case and President Trump case. In a very strange case, while the Ukraine war was on, somebody purporting to be, a minister from Ukraine gave a call on Zoom to a US senator, asking them if there are missiles going to be launched by US into Russia and things like that. And probably this was a very elaborate setup where this would have been recorded because, the senator on the other end is real, right? Without knowing that who is on this side. And then this would have been shown that, okay, Russia is under attack or a major geopolitical event is happening. So what I'm saying is that the trust in a person and in a real image or video is being utilized for some larger goals. And these larger goals can be elections, it can be impersonation, it can be money, it can be relationships, it can be anything.
Just on that, right? When Ukraine and Russia war started, just 3 weeks after that, there was a deepfake video that was viral, crazy viral, by the president saying, what we are not surrendered, and Russia wins. I mean, we all know what happens, but like that created a lot of ruckus, isn't it?
Zelensky.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That created a lot of ruckus, because here it is not just financial loss.
Right.
It's like saying that
It's a whole
Russia has
country.
won, and
It's a
then
whole
everything
country, yeah.
happens. Absolutely.
Now, what were your suggestions? Like, it's getting more and more real.
Yeah.
So, what do you think can be done?
I think from it's very important, and I always think that, right, when we are talking about this, is you and I are privileged to understand details, to have the best of technology, best of phones, best of laptops, to look at even videos and understand, okay, there's a difference. Now think about people who are in tier 2, tier 3 cities, which are not like speaking English, or they think, okay, this is happening. So I think detailings is the key. It's very, very important that, one is, you notice the difference. Like, I'll give you an example, and then I'll talk about how it could have been prevented. There was a Kerala man, right, old man. He woke up with multiple calls from a random number, and then when he looked at his WhatsApp, there was a text from his old friend who hasn't been in touch in a year or two, asking, hey, how are you, and I really need your help, can you call me? And then this guy calls up and says, hey, what's up? And this guy says, I am stuck in Dubai. It's my sister's surgery, and I really need the money, and I can't, I couldn't think of anyone, and I could really use your help. I'm on my way to Mumbai. Sorry, not Mumbai. I'm on my way to go to that particular place wherever surgery is happening in India, and I need the money, and I will give it back to you as soon as I land in India. None of my relatives either have the money or are willing to, give the money today. So he was like, how do I believe you? It just did not stop on the voice cloning. It went into a video call.
Goodness.
The video call was of his friend. Okay, and his friend is like, okay, you know what, I really need the money, I'm telling you, I'm stuck. And there was a whole setup, and he's like, okay, you know what, I'm going to give you the money, I'm a good person. He transferred the money. Sooner there was a request for another money, like another, and it just continues, right? Like, once you know that you are screwed, then you're like, I'm going to screw you more.
Yep.
So the second time the request came for 30,000, and then what happened is, that's when he got suspicious. Like, what? And then he called, and this is what one should do.
Right.
He called his friend from his contact, the same guy, and he did the video call saying, hey, I have sent you the money, 40,000 already, why do you need another 30? He's like, what money? I think that should have been the first step, right? The moment you receive, if you are asking me money, okay, which I really hope you don't, if you're asking me money, I'm going to first give you a call asking whether or not it's legit. If you remember, I got this message, I think last year, from one of my friend, same DP, same WhatsApp DP and everything, asking me for money.
Right.
And it was random number. I'm like, this is not the number I have. The first thing one you should do is verify.
How do you verify that?
You call that person, right? If that person is actually real or not. In this case, Kerala man, the second time what he
But
did.
let's say if you're traveling, I know that you're traveling and you're on a flight, and you would not be available for a certain time. And then, because each of us, we give out too much information on social media, that here I'm checking in, here I'm traveling.
You don't have to be personal. I'm telling you, each episode you still get personal.
You put your travel plans,
Of
on
course, like the
Instagram,
world needs to have FOMO.
right?
I'm
Then,
traveling.
you're giving enough information for the friendly neighborhood scammer.
Yeah.
And if the scammer decides that they have to scam your people only at that time when you're taking a long flight, how do you protect against that?
Yeah, that is true. Actually, that's a good point. But I, as a friend, I would wait.
It starts with harvesting of your information online.
Yeah.
And the more information you're going to put online, more information about your travel, more information about where you're going to be, more information about your holidays, you're being available, unavailable. I think that is where people are exploiting you. So the exploitation starts with something that you give. I mean, it's not exactly contributory negligence, but it is, I think, being negligent about yourselves. That you need not share everything personal. Applies to you also. Don't take it personally.
So you were saying that my personal information and details of my life is not just going to be misused by my so-called friends, but also scammers online?
Yes, indeed. Because see, a scam works on being very real.
Yeah.
And if they know intimate details about you, if they know, let's say that you're going to a particular place, then to establish trust, they would use this information. You remember you were discussing about this particular new modus where people whose children are studying abroad.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a sinister one, man.
Yeah, so it's so common, right? Because most of the parents now have sent their kids outside
Mm-hmm.
abroad, and like obviously they're studying. And this happened. I was actually sitting with a very senior cop that day, and
Goodness.
we started having a conversation. And then one of the cases that we discussed very broadly, and which apparently is very popular, is they're getting a call from the police of that particular country, area, whatever, to the parents, asking them and telling them that your kid is found doing prostitution
Oh, goodness.
or drugs, right? Either of these, and they'll be jailed, they will be deported, and they will have, like, they are now screwed, in
So
short.
classic fear and urgency.
Absolutely. It just doesn't stop like with that calls, right? They will have a full setup. And then this cop was telling me that he has a full setup. This person is wearing the police uniform and everything, and is talking about, like, you know what, we found your kid doing this so and so activities. And you don't see the kid, because when there is a prostitution or drug case, you don't show the
Oh,
face.
faces
So
are
it's the
covered.
face is hidden,
Oh.
right? So the face is hidden, and then you're like, okay, you know what, this is going to happen. Second, what happened is that they started using their kid's voice, saying, yeah,
Oh.
I screwed, like, mom, dad, I really need your help. I don't know what to do. Please help, or whatever. They've gone ahead, not only just video telling someone that, okay, that is your child.
So there's an elaborate setup,
Absolutely.
and they don't show face, but they
Yes.
use a voice tone.
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. And then they will, like, talk about, like, obviously. So now, if you look at it, they have honestly done such a good job in both video and audio
It's a
sector.
fake. It's a fake deep fake.
Yeah. Imagine, like, know,
Right.
and as a parent whose probably kids are studying abroad in a different time zone, you're
It
really
can be the most
scared.
scary thing.
And this person, if your parents are also calling, and imagine kids don't pick up.
Yeah.
People
yeah,
have lost
yeah.
money, like, left, right, and center, because you want the best for your child. You're using
Yeah.
the vulnerable sector
Yeah.
for that. And you know what? The thing is that these, if let's take a basic maths, right? If your kid is studying in college, that means you're not above 60. Right? You're like easily 50s or 40s or in that range.
Right.
It means you're fairly young, you're aware of what's happening around. So
Right.
even the most, it's not about now targeting the vulnerable when it comes to old age or the younger generation. It's also targeting your insecurities, your
True.
like, deeper things. And I think that goes back to social media, right? Because kids are posting online saying, hey, we're chilling here, hey, we are out here, we're doing this. And even when, let's say, for example, when I make a reel and I'm using my voice, easily could be cloned, right?
True. True.
Could be easily done.
So ultimately, the hack is psychological.
Yeah. Yes, in a way. I think especially
Most of social
majority
engineering,
of it.
yeah, even deepfakes.
Yeah, majority of it. So imagine now, parents are here scared, everyone's scared, and in everything about it is so custom, it's so sophisticated that if you know which university, where are they studying, what are they doing, the number of information and the areas that they can find your information is gruesome now.
See, I always say this, that the governance of internet is broken. And for the first time, that is why the UN has come up with a cybercrime convention. And it's after years that UN has come up with a crime convention. It was passed in December, and all the countries, I think, would be ratifying it in Vietnam. The ratifying session is going to happen in Vietnam, where different countries would be asked to ratify it. So for the first time, all countries are getting together, realizing that all these threats on digital media are getting very real. Especially as a country which is digitizing very fast. India leapfrogs.
Yeah.
So from the days of rotary phone to mobile phone, we just took a leap. And this country is progressing, it's digitizing. And you would see more and more attacks of these kinds. Attacks on your money, attacks on your reputation, attacks on your mental well-being, attacks on, let's say, the stability of society. So maybe even in elections. You see, even in US elections, deepfakes were used. There was one from Kamala Harris also. There was a deep fake of
Yeah.
her.
But that happened also in India, right? Ranveer Singh and who were the other guys? I think Amir Khan, right? They obviously filed FIR saying that we never promoted any political party. This is
Right.
not us, and they went ahead and of course launched the complaint. But I think the more popular you are, the better credibility you have is equal to, like, more people getting into it, of course. So here's the thing, right? When a lot of people thought deepfake was only meant for riches, I mean, of course, a lot of things are only meant for riches, but deepfake in general, people thought that only certain level of people, like, to manipulate the masses, could be only certain people. But like the cases like students studying abroad, cases of WhatsApp videos, these are very you and I, mostly me, not you, but like people like, us, people like me, people like our generation, our people who are being in this situation,
That's
who
called humble
do not
bragging.
know.
That's called humble bragging.
I thought we both are getting personal, okay? So, people of my generation,
Yeah.
okay?
Now that is ageist. I take serious objection to that.
I don't mean by your age. I mean, you felt that way. I can't help it. But I meant like your stature. Okay?
Oh.
It's just now.
It's getting better and better.
I'm learning. So, anyway, that being said,
Didn't you know your generation was immune to learning?
Thank you. I think there's all kinds of different. I think this conversation is going somewhere else. Okay,
Come back.
I am here to talk about the rights of my generation. Okay, which is right to live, right to put it on social media and still be safe.
And right to deepfakes.
What is government doing about it? Okay. So I think so here's the thing, right? I think the responsibility is not just of authorities. It's something that you, myself, and people
We should not facilitate it
people like
inadvertently.
ourselves, right? Of course, you want to be popular on social media, do all these things, but we also have to be very, very careful. Now, it just brings me to the point where did you hear about Scarlett
Johansson.
Yeah. She's suing OpenAI about the whole thing, and I don't know where the
Yeah,
case
as
is.
you
but-
said that it's not just videos, it's voice also.
yeah.
So,
But then they offered her. Imagine, okay. So the company is like, I'm gonna offer you to come on board with us and give us your voice so that we can use it in our
so
on
there
our
was
platform.
a chatbot which was called Sky,
Yeah.
which was basically a voice chatbot.
Yeah.
And I think it had her voice.
Yes. So she never authorized it. She declined that offer from OpenAI and said, I'm not interested. Like, obviously, she's one of the richest people as well, but I don't want to do that. And but OpenAI went ahead, used her voice, and
Voice
there
similar
was,
to her
yeah,
voice.
similar to her. And there was a obviously thing called Sky, where now she's sued and done
The
everything.
case
But
is yet undecided.
yeah, but it's happening even in India, right? Anil Kapoor.
Yeah,
and
he
these
went.
guys.
He
yeah.
actually had a court order that somebody was using his videos to promote something.
Yeah.
So he went to court and got an injunction where he said that my voice, my likeness, my image, right, is my property, my intellectual property, and nobody else has a right to use it. So this also opens up a very interesting discussion that okay, these AI models are fed on a lot of open source material, and if they create something which has either IP or economic value, who does it belong to? It's also a legal question. I think one more actor, probably Mr. Bachchan, has gone to court where he has asked for an injunction against people, utilizing his voice to promote various things. You see more and more cases where commercial use of deepfakes is being made.
Can I just ask a question on that? So you said someone like Anil Kapoor or these celebrities who can probably afford this, but someone like you, myself, and
I'm
people
yet not
who
so
are
famous, not like you.
Thank
I
you,
don't have
thank you.
200k followers on
Ish.
Instagram.
No, it's okay. Okay, so like, how do we do this, right? Because
How
are
do
these
how do
only
you get so many followers?
Shh, that's a secret, okay? But fair question, right? Is it only for the richest to go to the court and say, "Hey, my voice, my life, and everything"?
Well,
But or
it's
is it
evolving
also-
jurisdiction, right? Till yesterday, GANs and deepfakes were not available. So jurisdiction will follow once things happen, and law
How do
cannot
you-
imagine.
How do you do it at scale? Right, if like there, let's say hypothetically in India itself, right, there are easily about, let's say hypothetically, 20,000 influencers or social media creators, and about 20,000 another celebrities, and then you add those people, right? So let's say hypothetically in India we have about 5 lakhs important people, Okay, but then there are masses who are not, like, but they're still used, right?
Yep.
You are still being used. As simple as, there was a very nice one, and this is so relevant. If my friend is texting me from a random number at the middle of the night saying, "Hey, I've been caught drinking and driving,"
Yeah.
okay, and and whoever needs 40,000, okay.
Now that's getting personal.
Okay, I need money, bro. Like, I'm screwed. And this guy does a video call and everything, or sends a voice note saying, I need the money.
And this is the GPay number where
Yeah, and you are at that point, you are relating
no
to
way to
someone's
verify.
voice. You're
True.
relating that, okay, probably they are not able to use their own phone or whatever. They're texting from someone else's, and it's so late, and you're in deep sleep, and you want to help your friend as well, depending upon how good friend it is, to be honest.
True.
But but it goes back, right? And this guy actually transferred 40,000.
Oh, it did happen.
Yeah, it did happen. 40,000 rupees to pay to someone. I mean, it's hilarious, but it's honestly sad, because drink and drive happens so often. I mean, it does, right? I mean, it's so common.
So it's also coming from somewhere where there is some amount of self-implication. Is it so? That somebody, you always, when we are talking about situations, somebody is in trouble. Somebody is in trouble with an authority figure. Somebody is in trouble with law enforcement. Somebody has done some crime. Somebody needs money. So it's coming from certain situation of urgency, certain situation of where, money is needed, and where somebody is impersonating. There should be some kind of mental inoculation against this, that people should be told that if at all you get calls in these situations, because the scripts are similar, there are these limited number of scripts being played, and using this podcast we can at least talk about the kind of scripts people are playing. We have discussed many scripts, right, from children getting caught abroad to this drink and drive thing, or somebody promoting iPhones for $2,
or IPL betting, right?
or
These
IPL betting, or crypto
celebrities, right?
scams.
Yeah.
There was certain celebrity video. Elon Musk, right, was impersonated in a crypto scam. So it's better to inoculate people mentally by saying that, okay, if you have these check boxes, that if it's an urgency where money is required and where no time is being given to you, it probably is a scam and it needs to be verified secondarily. What do you think?
I mean, absolutely. One, that is definitely required. And I think it has a lot to do with an institution, organization, than with an individual. Individuals can be careful.
True.
Right? This Taylor Swift also thing happened, right? I think a lot of it also is going back to porn.
Yes.
Right? It's going, and
That's another serious problem.
Children's who are under 18,
Yeah.
their photos, their videos.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift obviously did the whole thing, and of course, I
Yeah.
mean, I think when you are in that certain position, right, you have the access and the resources that you can utilize. But people, like I said, right, people who do not have the access, it's very important to talk about what can they do, right? Because if, imagine my video, any video, right, it doesn't have to be, it just has to be my face, anything can be changed. And you remember back in the day, I don't know if in your generation you did this, but in my generation we went to cyber cafe and we did not post Facebook. Our profile picture Facebook was never our picture. It was an angel, a butterfly, a dog, or something. You know why? Because our parents used to say, never put something on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Yeah, never.
Very uncommon in your generation.
Well, I mean, anyway, that's not the point. Let's come back to the point, okay? Our generation is
Touche.
amazing, well thought of, superb, okay? Anyway, so but if you look at it, those pictures, why were our parents so scared? They were scared because someone is going to, even when Deepfake never really, like, this was never a phenomena. It came because the moment
Photoshop were being used
yeah,
as them.
Photoshop, right?
Yeah,
Photoshop.
Photoshop was being
like,
used.
we can use
Even
your
Photoshop
pictures.
was the first deepfake.
yes Imagine your face and then the rest in whatever
True,
but now
true.
it's much more sophisticated,
It's very
turned into
sophisticated.
video or whatever. But that phenomena still remains over the years, right? Only the sophistication has gotten better, and social media itself has gotten really better. Like, I have only joined, for example, Instagram in 2016 2017, that late. I was never
brag. And 2000 and 200k followers. Brag.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That 200k followers is only last 1 year. Thank you
Okay.
guys. I appreciate it. But but the thing is that, imagine that from that scariness, like when us, right, and obviously there are younger people as well, now they put everything on social media,
Yeah.
right? So there are, of course, there are certain things that I as an individual can do, and there are certain things that the government and, like, this our more important person talking about digital India, right, they're talking about all these now policies in place which may in future obviously be followed by different places who are already doing it. You very well spoke about UN as well, right?
Okay, here it is. So, in fact, India came up with rules in 2021.
Is
It is
it?
about, intermediary guidelines and digital media ethics code, wherein it created this thing called platform responsibility and a three-tier structure. So, if you are somebody who's aggrieved by something, maybe your deepfake circulating somewhere, you have to appeal to a grievance officer who has to act within a particular time frame. I think it's 36 hours or something. I'll probably have to cross-check that. But these rules are available, and every platform which has more than 50 million followers in India has to appoint a resident grievance officer. The numbers and contact details of these grievance officers are given, and they have been given a strict timeline and a procedure to do things like take down or attend to complaints, alleged complaints made by people, to verify what's happening there. But this brings you to the more important question of platform responsibility. That you have created a platform which is being misused for, let's say, circulating images of children. It's child sexual abuse material, which is a crime everywhere in every jurisdiction. So world over, there's a talk that all AI generating apps should have watermarking, that all AI generated content should be watermarked as AI generated, and that would solve a lot of things. That the tool itself, while creating a image or video or whatever, will have to have a watermark. Okay, this will lead to some kind of an underground where there are tools which are jailbroken or which are not following. But if platforms, there are certain platforms which have already said this, that any AI generated content has to be marked. So I think it's a good step in that direction.
Instagram has that, right? You can actually, while posting a reel, you can you have to select it's created by AI if it is.
Okay,
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there is this format. See, that's why you should post more reels.
I understand.
Learn from the pro. Like, what is this?
But there are also tools, right?
Yeah.
There are tools. So if you are, let's say, if you get a video on WhatsApp, now you want to verify it. There are tools. There are tools by Microsoft. There are tools by Adobe, where you can put these tools and find out whether they are fake, or there are Indian companies.
Yeah.
Which are basically allowing you to check if it is real or AI generated. So they use the same thing called GAN, wherein they check if the AI produces it using a particular algorithm. So they look for traces of that algorithm and find out whether it has been produced by an AI. And these tools should be used. Many of these tools are freely available, and people should be using them if at all they feel that some video is fake.
So let me ask you this, right? And I think this comes from a very personal question, that my videos on Instagram or anything that we do, right, it's just out there. Now imagine if someone uses it. As a woman, I'm very concerned
True.
about my privacy and
True.
security, right?
True.
What if someone uses my face or like a video and put it up on, like, Pornhub or all these places, whatever? You have no control of where it circulates. So as a woman, I'm really concerned about that, right? That is a major concern of what we put in. So what me as a creator or any woman who's posting on Instagram or social media can do, should do, and if it happens, then what?
So see, as a content creator, your case is different, where you are sort of in that profession,
Yeah.
right? Because you may be earning money also out of the content you create. Do you?
Sorry.
Personal. Okay. But what I feel is that there are takedown procedures.
Yeah.
For if these content is found somewhere, there are takedown procedures, and all of the legit platforms, wherever they are, they have a process of responding to it. However, sometimes when these things are out, they are on so many platforms in so many jurisdictions that it becomes very difficult. We were handling something happening to a known person, and we had to write 560 emails to different platforms where this thing was circulating. So it can be painful, it can be really bad, but as a society, I think we should understand that deepfakes are real, they are here to stay, and it should not be a matter of shame if somebody is deepfake is circulated, because it's not that person's responsibility. It is somebody who's perverted, who's using that person for a malicious use.
When have we stopped blaming the victims?
But we should grow up, right? If we are using technology, if we are becoming modern, then I think modernity should also come with our ethics, and we should not be stuck up with some kind of morality where we blame somebody for something which the person has not done.
So if my video goes like, in different places which does not exist, or it's not me, created by AI, where can I go and complain?
So first of all, you should immediately complain to cybercrime.gov.in. For financial frauds, if you just want the money to stop, the flight of money to stop, you immediately dial 1930. So an elaborate network all over India for this single number has been created, where you call this and they call up all the financial institutions and they ask the money to be stopped. Similarly, RBI has given very clear guidelines that if you report in time and if you do not have contributory negligence, then your liability is limited to 25,000 rupees. You may check the newer circulars for liability, but I think slowly the liability of the customer is getting limited in case of financial loss. I believe that the responsibility should come to platforms and to institutions which basically are the custodians of your money, your reputation, your pictures, your life events. If they are holding such sensitive and critical information, it is their bound responsibility to protect you.
So if you remember, I think 4 years back, approximately, there were a lot of insurances, right? And these insurances are now mandatory by regulatories as well, where obviously corporates and organizations have to take those insurance against if something goes wrong, right? If there is a cyber fraud, cybersecurity incident, anything that happens. Now, it's very interesting how insurance companies are playing, because I read somewhere where now there are content creators insurance.
Oh, this is very interesting.
Yeah, so if someone's using your pictures, if something happens, and all that, so it could be covered in insurance as well.
So when you'll start getting paid, you'll do that.
Absolutely. And no, but agencies are now doing it, right? Imagine, so I need to start getting paid so I can afford an insurance. Like, that's the whole point I was making. But
goodness.
But I'm saying business is everywhere, right? It's a matter of finding that. But of course, so this is also happening. So this is very, very interesting, right? That now there are proactive measures by companies to, one, earn more money, and second is, of course, being secure and guarded, because so it covers your legal fees. The insurances covers your legal fees. If something happens, you're going and doing these, so they cover your insurance. Insurance covers all that. I mean, I wanted to be lawyer, because I think one should be lawyer in this country anytime. You get tons of money. Oh my God, it's splurging everywhere.
My lawyer friends are going to beat me up.
You receive these random videos and messages saying, my mom once telling me, oh, this happened, or this actor died. And I'm like, no one died. Relax, it did not happen. And she's like, no, I saw this uncle sent it to us. And I'm like, please stop clicking on these. But it's so hard to maintain that. How would you do that? Yeah. What would you do?
I think first trust my gut. That if I feel there's something off, see, all of the victims would tell you that they felt something was off about it, something was odd about it, but the urgency took over, right? That they felt that probably there's something fishy about it. And trust your gut, verify immediately. At least in financial institutions, like, you should have financial protocols wherein that only a proper written internal email or a proper parallel communication from other channel would need you to authorize if at all you want to spend money on a deepfake, right?
But have you realized a lot of scams are going back to Telegram? What is that?
I think Telegram is the new dark web.
Join the group of Telegram. You will double the money, triple the money. Oh, there is a movie that you haven't watched and there is a link on Telegram. Come on Telegram, join this stock market. We will give you the insights.
It's again a jurisdictional question. So these apps belong to various places. So Telegram, being a Russian app, has a different kind of jurisdiction which it is adhering to. Other places, here is where I talk about platform responsibility, that they are very careful about copyrighted material. Right? Recently, somebody, some very famous person had gone somewhere and they put a background music of some song. Their account was suspended. But see, these are the same platforms which are allowing deepfakes of, President Trump, Elon, Musk, and celebrities and various other things. Yeah. So they have the wherewithal, they have the technologies. Why aren't they stopping deepfakes? They should be
That
stopping
is true.
deepfakes also, because I'm very sure that when content is uploaded, they are checking. When they can check it for copyrighted material, why can't they check it for deepfakes?
How can you run Facebook ads on someone like an industrialist and say that
That's true.
invest in whatever?
That's
Like
true.
these are platform responsibilities.
There's a
This
duty
is
to care. The platform has a duty to care, and that's what has been said in the 2021 rules under IT Act, that the platform has a responsibility, and hence the platform should take care of its duty to care towards its subscriber. See, generally what they bank upon is the kind of agreement you sign when you say yes when you are installing the app. But it's not just those user guidelines. It's actually also a set of responsibilities which you as a business should have towards your customers, and that I think needs to be drilled down very well.
that is absolutely true. I think one is platform responsibility, individual responsibility, and as obviously officials
And
in
report
government,
immediately, right?
Yeah,
Report
yeah.
immediately.
Absolutely. I think the fact that you have the resources, it's just matter of utilizing those resources and reaching out to the guidelines. Please don't just go out to your friends and talk about it. Just go ahead and talk to the right people, go to the right resources. If you think you're too scared to go to the police station and talk about it, because it could be very intimidating, go on the sites that you just mentioned and then talk about, put up register a complaint for this to actually be taken action upon, because no one's going to take action on feelings.
Right.
They're going to take action on something that is written, that is out there, that is a complaint, that is a number. Till the time, and I've learned this very hard way, right? Till the time your case does not have a file number, your
True.
case does not exist.
True.
Right?
True.
So if it's not emotion, it's just going and doing the right things for yourself.
But also, each one teach one. That if you know this, or you have survived a scam, or if you basically know how it happens, tell people about this.
Yeah.
Tell people in your family, tell your friends that this is the current flavor of the month, that this is how they are scamming you, that this is the video they are going to use, because they also have limited resources, they have a limited script.
Yeah.
So that is why it's very important to educate your network. Once you educate your network, you tell them, and also look for red flags.
Yeah.
That if it is an urgency, if it's a situation where they want money. So all this combined, gut feeling says looks like a scam, verify it independently. And if you verify it independently, only then pay money. Otherwise, don't pay money.
So gut feelings
Yes.
on or for such situations, but not gut feeling on your personal situations, right? Because I will trust gut on cybersecurity side of it, but not in my personal life.
Best of luck with that.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Man vs. Scam. Deepfakes aren't just a tech experiment anymore. They're out there fooling people and stealing money and blurring the lines between what's real and what's not. So next time you see a video that seems too real to be fake or too fake to be real, take a second look. Verify before you trust, and most importantly, don't fall for the trap. As always, a big thank you for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friends, your family groups, and especially that one uncle and auntie in your life who sends you everything on WhatsApp. We'll be back soon with another mind-blowing scam breakdown, which is going to be all about the upcoming income tax scams. Until then, stay alert, stay informed, and remember, if something feels off, it probably is. If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe to IVM Podcast YouTube channel and hit that notification bell, because scams aren't waiting, and neither should you.